It's time to unwind. It's rough enough to manage your own expectations. When you focus on the efforts of others, it gets very complicated. This time of coming to the yoga mat just allows you to draw your awareness inside in order to refocus. We'll begin seated. If you'd like to grab a blanket and blocks to allow you to go deeper in the poses, please grab them. We'll begin sitting cross-legged. Chances are there's a cross-legged position you prefer, so go to your second favorite way to sit cross-legged in order to create a little bit more evenness on the sides. Start with your hands right at your knees or your thighs. Draw your heart forward, lift your chest. Exhale, draw from the navel back to the spine. And inhale. Exhale, just moving the spine at a rate that's nice and slow and easeful to get you into your practice. Stay very earthy to begin, rooted on the earth. Moving the spine. Now start to rotate. So on the in-breath, lift your chest, go to the side. When you come to the back in your circle, round the upper back, come back to the front, lift the chest, and draw back again. And come to open up and draw back. Last time. Now we'll go the opposite direction with a nice lift of the chest, the heads of the arm bones back, draw to the opposite direction. So you're getting a bit of a lateral stretch as you're moving the spine. See if you can go a little bit fuller in your circle. Shift back to the center position. Reach the arms out, turn your palms up. Reach your hands up and draw over to the right. Just place your hand on the mat and very close to your pelvis. Reach over and use the hand that's planted to get your left sit bone to plant itself more deeply so that as you draw over, you get this fullness. Rise up. Place your hand to the mat, left hand to the mat. Take your right arm up. Pull the left hand close to the pelvis. Reach over. Again, both arms are very active. And the lifted arm, you've got a nice spread to your fingers. On the arm that's supporting you, that sort of kickstand arm, you're working the fingers in the mat to get the right sit bone down. Rise up. Now we'll do a simple twist. Don't go too deep because we've just started the practice. Take your right hand somewhere to the outside of the left thigh. Open your chest nicely. Come back through center position. Take the back side of your hand to the opposite leg. Twist. Release out of the pose. Cross your legs, your favorite way now, and let's do the same actions that we did. Place your hands to the thighs, draw your heart forward, lift your chin. Exhale, draw back. Breathe in through the nose as you open the chest. Breathe out through the nose as you draw from the navel back to the spine. And one more time. Heart reaches forward, chin lifts, heads of the arm bones draw back. Exhale, get fullness to the back body. And lift yourself up to start to do circles as you draw forward. The heart lifts as you draw back. You get fullness to the back body. Come forward and get the heads of the arm bones back and draw back. And see if you can make your circle just a little bit bigger. Just a little bit more fullness in the diameter of the circle. We'll go to the opposite side. Combining both these lateral movements as well as spinal movements to get nice axial elongation in the spine, so that when we come back to the center position and sit tall, find this fullness in the form. Take your arms out, turn your palms up, keep your legs very active, the baby toe side of the foot pressing down so the legs are engaged. Reach your arms up. Draw your right hand to the mat, slide it closer to your pelvis, press down with the right hand to reach further with the left hand. Root down to rise up out of the pose. Take your left hand down, slide it toward the pelvis, reach over to the side. Let the breath just do its thing to expand through the side body. Inhale, rise up. Reach both hands up. Now place that left hand to the outer right knee. Place your right hand behind you. Sit tall. Turn your heart toward the right side. Reach up. Twist. Take your right hand to the outer left thigh. Take your left hand as close to your pelvis as possible. Root down to the left hand to get even more fullness. This unwinding time as you come to the yoga mat, just work slowly into the practice. You come here with the expectations of finding that ease, of getting rid of the external concerns and just focusing on your body. We'll come to all fours position now. In this tabletop position, look back and line up your feet right behind your knees. Lift the back body. Now draw the heart down toward the earth. Lift the back body so there's space between the shoulder blades. Now let the heart melt toward the earth. Step the right foot forward. Come up to this kneeling pose. And in this pose, drop into this lunge. And we'll move the spine as we've been moving. First, you draw from the sternum back, so the back body gets full. Now drop in just a little bit more so that you can open the chest. Draw back. Navel draws back toward the spine. Now get a nice opening to the upper chest as you drop a little bit deeper into the lunge. Again, Draw back and settle deeper into the pose. Place your hands down to the mat and step back to all fours position. Tuck your toes under. You can come either to child's pose or this modified child's pose where the knees are together, the inner big toes are together, just reaching back. Keep your armpits and your elbows lifted. Find a lot of space in the back body in this move. Lift yourself up again and step the right foot again where it was. Place your hands right at the knee. We'll do one more action of the same move that we've been doing. So you draw from the navel back to get fullness in the back body before dropping in a little bit deeper in your pose. Turn your left foot back. So now the pelvis is turned toward the long edge of the mat. Take your left arm up, reach it over. Just get this nice length. Rise up. Take your left hand down and line up the hand with your knee and your right foot. Take your right arm up and over. And rise up. Come back to tabletop position. Take the inner knees together, inner big toes together. Just reach back. The back body, this unseen side of the body, you find so much more spaciousness into it when you do these actions. Let your breath create that felt sense of spaciousness. Back to tabletop, step your left foot forward. Bring your hands to the top of the left knee and move the spine. First, you draw the navel back, the sternum back. You look in toward the heart. Second, you just drop yourself into the pose a little bit more. Now back off, so the left knee's over the ankle. You bow in. You get this nice opening of the chest as you drop in. And again, draw back. Look in. And drop in. Come back to all fours position, to this modified child's pose or the form of the pose that you wish to do as you draw back. I like doing the knees together for this practice because it really encourages just a little bit more engagement in this dorsiflexion action of the ankles. But it's always your choice, your practice. Step the left foot forward again. Take your hands right above the left knee. Same thing, you're just getting the spine to move as you slowly open the hip. Come back to the center position. Swing your right foot behind the knee. Take your arms up. Reach over to the side as if you're holding on to a beach ball here. The hands are very active, drawing in toward each other. Your breath is full, expanding through the side body. Come to the opposite side. Take your right hand down. Take your left hand up and over. See about lifting up the underside ribs. Your gaze is up. Your arm is toned through a nice spread of the fingers. And inhale, rise up, come back to tabletop position and make your way to downward facing dog. In downward facing dog, allow for nice fullness to the breath and ease to the breath. When we come to the yoga mat to unwind, we limit our expectations. We certainly limit our focus to those external factors. We focus on ourselves, on our breath, on our practice. We are in the moment. So as you come out of downward facing dog, step your right foot forward. Park your back heel down. Lift yourself up. Bend your right knee. See about lifting up your back heel. Stay balanced and twist. Turn your heart to the right as your wingspan extends. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale and twist. Draw your gaze to the right. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, come to the twist. And take your arms down to the mat. Step back to downward facing dog. Enjoy the breath. See if you can feel any differences on that side that lengthen through the twist compared to the other. Take your left foot forward. Rise up. You can either plant your back foot, or if you lift your right heel, you'll be able to have the hip points more parallel to the front of the mat. From there, reach your arms up. Now expand. Just reach your hands out and rise up. And again, twist, stay balanced. Rise up. And again, expand so fully. Reach up. Release your hands down to the mat. Step back to downward facing dog. Have a nice full and easy breath. Take your hands close to each other so that you can step your right foot just to the outside of your right hand. Bring your back knee down. Walk your hands at the diagonal and bow in. When you unwind in your practice, you come to these poses with ease. And the expectation of the practice is to keep your mind, your awareness on the actions. From here, step your left hand to the mat, take your right hand to your low back, turn toward the inner right knee, reach your right arm up, reach your right arm over your head. The option, if you'd like, is to tuck your back toes under and lift the back knee up. Release your hand down. Step back to downward facing dog. Attune to your breath. Step your hands close to each other so that you can take your left foot just to the outside of your left hand. Bring your back knee down. Walk your hands at the diagonal with the left knee over the ankle. Bow in. Invite more fullness to your breath, more ease to your breath. Place your right hand to the inside of the ankle, maybe a foot away or so from the left ankle. Reach your left arm up. Turn so that you can unwind so fully in your practice. Reach your hand over your head. If you'd like, you can tuck your toes under, lift your back knee, find fullness in your breath. Release your hand down, step back to downward facing dog. Step yourself wide on the mat. Now, all of us don't need to be this wide, but for many of us, with our toes turned out, with our feet nice and wide apart, it makes it much more accessible to come to a squat pose. So see if you can find your squat pose. And from here, stay in the squat pose. If you'd like to get a little elevation on your heels, place a blanket or a towel under your heels. Now feel free to take the right hand to your head and open your chest nicely. Come back to Anjali Mudra, to this mudra of offering with the hands placed firmly in this prayer position. And take the left hand to your head and just get a nice unwinding sense while still opening the pelvis nicely. And come back to the prayer position. Now easefully, if possible, bring your pelvis down to the earth. So you're in seated pose. Extend your feet forward. Come to Dandasana. Get tall. Draw your right knee in toward your chest. Now take the right knee just to the side. We're not going to Janu Shirshasana. We'll do another movement to turn the hip a little bit more. But now we're just keeping the hip points forward. So as you do, you just allow yourself to draw down toward the extended foot. And you rise up. Now turn toward the bent knee. Take your left hand to the outside of the bent knee. Reach your arm up and extend over as if you're about to touch the extended leg. Rise up and lift up the right leg. Draw the right foot to the side a bit more. So this right hip may feel just a little bit out of balance. With the right foot planted, take your left hand right at the shin, the ankle area. Take your right arm up and reach over with the right hand, almost like you're trying to reach the left foot. But I like keeping the right sit bone planted. Even though this is so asymmetric, the left hand is pulling the ribs in toward the bent right knee. The right arm is reaching out. Now lift yourself up to come out of the pose. Come to Dandasana with your feet forward. Sit tall. Take your left knee to the side so it's roughly in line with the pelvis. Draw into the forward fold, just gently, not too much rounding here. Rise up. Turn toward the bent left leg. Take your right hand to the leg. Reach your left arm up and reach it over. Just invite the breath to become very full, very expansive. Have your right leg very active. Rise up. Plant your left foot. So again, your left hip point is slightly out of alignment with the right. From here, take your right hand to the left ankle or the left shin. Pull your heart toward the bent left leg as you reach over with the left hand toward your right leg. You're pulling in to extend out more fully. Keep the right leg very active. Keep pulling in toward the left leg. And inhale to lift yourself out of the pose. Now come to lie down with your knees bent. With your knees bent, draw your right knee in. Just give it a nice hug in. Now place the right ankle to the outer left knee. With your hands, press the right thigh back. Just give a little opening here for your hip area. You can stay there or lift up your left foot, interlace your fingers, just so that you're at the belly of the hamstring muscles as you encourage your right thigh to reach away from your ribs, maybe with the help of your elbow, your arm. You're pulling in toward your ribs with the hands, but you're resisting with the legs. The legs are trying to push out while the interlaced fingers are pulling in. Find fullness here in your actions. Now release the feet down. Take your left ankle to the outer right knee. Stack your hands right at the pant leg crease and urge the left thigh to draw back. And if you'd like to, you can bring the right thigh closer to you. Interlace your fingers behind the thigh. Draw the left thigh for further away from you. Keep the engagement of the legs, nice curve in the low back. Nice movement, just rocking side to side. Or find that place of stillness. Keep on reaching the feet back so that you really refine the lumbar curve in this. Release your feet down. Take your arms in a cactus pose. Keep a nice opening of the upper chest. When we unwind, when we come to the yoga mat with the purpose of unwinding, we want this felt sense of freedom. So just using the cactus arms opens the upper chest nicely. Now see if you can keep a nice engagement of the muscles that support the spine while still lifting your feet up. Have your shins roughly parallel to the mat and just move the knees over toward the right. So you're going to be giving a nice massage to your right cheek. Come back to the center position. Give a massage to the left cheek. You come back to the center position. Move your feet up just slightly and do the same. Roll over toward the right side, maybe even extend the left leg straight while the inner knees are still touching. The right leg is really supporting this action. Come back to the center. With the inner knees touching, take the knees over to the left side. Hug in. Reach out if you like by straightening the top leg. Drawing the left knee in. Nice engagement of the left leg. And shift back to the center position before releasing your feet down. Come to a bridge pose with your elbows down, with your palms facing each other, the fingers pointing toward the ceiling. With your feet hip distance apart, lift your pelvis up. Enjoy a nice fullness to the front side of the body. An engagement of the legs where you're pulling the heels toward your heart. Breathe in deep and out long. And release your pelvis down. Release your arms. Release your legs. Close your eyes. You bring awareness to your yoga practice. And it offers this nice filter of the external factors that seem to create this felt sense of busyness. Time on the yoga mat is time where you can just focus on your body and your breath, on the subtleties of the movements of the practice, of the postures, of your spine, of your limbs. Feel as though the legs and the arms are very heavy. And the heaviness of the limbs allows for the pelvis to settle, shoulders to feel very grounded. From that space, you again come back to finding fullness in your breath. Ease in your facial muscles. Your breath continues to stoke the inner fire, but yet create an ease to soften the outer body. You breathe in deep and out long. Maintain that awareness to the inflow and the outflow of your breath. Thank you for joining me in the practice. And enjoy this time in Shavasana. Namaste.